Habakkuk 2. I will stand on my guard post and station myself on the rampart, and I will keep watch to see what he will speak to me and how I may reply when I am reproved. Then the Lord answered me and said, record the vision and inscribe it on tablets, that the one who reads it may run. For the vision is yet for the appointed time. It hastens toward the goal, and it will not fail. Though it tarries, wait for it will certainly come, it will not delay. Behold, as the proud, behold, as for the proud one, his soul is not right within him, but the righteous will live by his faith. Furthermore, wine betrays the haughty man, so that he does not stay at home. He enlarges his appetite like Sheol, and he is like death, never satisfied. He also gathers to himself all nations and collects to himself all peoples. Will not will not all of these take up a taunt song against him, even mockery and insinuations against him, and say, woe to him who increases what is not his for how long, and makes himself rich with loans? Will not your creditors rise up suddenly, and those who collect from you awaken? Indeed, you will become plunder for them, because you have looted many nations. All the remainder of the peoples will loot you because of human bloodshed and violence done to the land, to the town of and all its inhabitants. Woe to him who gets an evil gain for his house, to put his nest on high, to be delivered from the hand of calamity. You have devised a shameful thing for your house by cutting off many peoples, so you are sinning against yourself. Surely the stone will cry out from the wall, and the rafter will answer it from the framework. Woe to him who builds a city with bloodshed and founds a town with violence. Is it not indeed from the Lord of hosts that peoples toil for fire and nations grow weary for nothing? For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. Woe to you who make your neighbors drink, who mix in your venom, even to make them drunk, so as to look on their nakedness. You will be filled with disgrace rather than honor. Now you yourself drink and expose your own nakedness. The cup in the Lord's right hand will come around to you, and utter disgrace will come upon your glory. For the violence done to Lebanon, Lebanon will overwhelm you, and the devastation of its beasts by which you terrified them, because of human bloodshed and violence done to the land, to the town and all its inhabitants. What profit is the idol when its maker has carved it, or an image, a teacher of falsehood? For its maker trusts in his own handiwork when he fashions speechless idols. Woe to him who says to a piece of wood, awake, to a mute stone, arise, and that is your teacher. Behold, it is overlaid with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all inside it. But the Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth be silent before him. Wow, that's a powerful chapter. And so I don't know who this word is for. Please please take this back to the Lord. But some of you that are watching this have idols in your life. And the Lord is saying it's time to cast them down. It's time to give them up. I mean, right now it's not the time to, take things lightheartedly. It's time to take things more seriously. And I just feel like some Christians out there are not taking this seriously. Some Christians don't even know what spiritual warfare is, and spiritual warfare is real. I'm telling you, I've experienced it in my own life. I'm a witness of this. And I still experience it too. And so I think it's just sad that some Christians don't know what spiritual warfare is, and they find out later on. You know, I sympathize with them, and I feel empathy for them because I understand. I didn't know spiritual warfare right away. Well, I grew up Baptist, and they didn't even teach anything about spiritual warfare, and I that was pretty much the sad part. And spiritual warfare is real, and it's so important how to deal with spiritual warfare, because that is going to happen at some point, especially if you're living for the Lord and you're pursuing after holiness and righteousness. You have a relationship with the Lord. That is going to happen to you. And so just really keep that in mind, because at the end of the day, you're it's not going to be good if you don't know how to deal with it. And so I didn't even I ended up I want to say I was it was in 2018. I ended up switching a complete denomination for church. I ended up going from Baptist to Assembly of God. And I've been Assembly of God since. But looking back, I'm just like, I'm really glad that I switched, just because I know now that there is spiritual warfare, and I'm well aware of it, so I'm not confused on it. And the Lord really had to teach me how to deal with spiritual warfare, what to do when it happens, when the devil attacks me. How do I deal with it? I fight through it in the spirit. I pray. I pray against these attacks. I pray against the assignments of the enemy. And I just think that everybody in their life is going to have to, they're going to go through a season where God is going to train them how to deal with it. And then once they are fully trained and prepared, then they're going to know how to deal with it. And they're going to be able to help others who are dealing with spiritual warfare, which I'm glad I have the opportunity to be able to help somebody that might be dealing with that and doesn't even know how to deal with spiritual warfare. Because it's sad that I didn't even know when I was younger, but I'm glad I know now, because the end times are near, and you know, Jesus can come back any day now. And so I think it's so important that we know that, because we can't give in to the enemy any minute, any day, or anything. We need to be praying against these assignments of the enemy, because the enemy is going to use people around you and is going to, try to attack you. And so you have to be prepared and just be well aware and ask God for discernment, for his wisdom, and for spiritual eyes to see, spiritual ears to hear. He will give that to you, and you will be able to tell in time if someone has unclean spirits in them, if they are being controlled and used by the enemy. And those people may not be well aware of it. And it's the sad part, but those people you just have to step away from. And so it's time to give up those idols and put God first in your life. Put God first in everything you do. And I think it's so important we're putting God first in our lives with everything. We go to him about everything when it comes to our decision making, when it comes to, whenever we have this opportunity that comes along, we pray about it and ask God, is this the opportunity you want me to step into? Or is this not from you, Lord? I think that's just so important. We're going to God about everything, because if we're going about things the wrong way, we're going about things on our own, we may end up going down the wrong path that the Lord has never intended for us. And so I think that's just so important, that we're going to God about everything, and we're asking him, or we're seeking him about everything. We're seeking him first. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. And so I think that's so important. We're seeking him with everything we do. And if the Lord says not to do it, then just don't do it. Don't question God. Just be obedient. And so I'm gonna make a part 2 on this, but I really hope so far this is really encouraging somebody. Um, but just know that it's okay if you didn't know before, and it's okay. It's truly okay if you're finding out this now. It's All that matters is that you know now. So I'm gonna make a part 2.